everyone. Welcome back to some Draw Steel, a pact made in Amber. Let's kick things off with a little bit of a recap. Pretty short one this time around. Previously on a pact made in Amber, the crew of the unfortunate Scarpion had arrived in the city of Pouso and had been given 3 days of shore leave after reporting into Consul Hirado. And after that, Higgins and Uvik briefly shared some of their motivations with the party. Had a little bit of roleplay backstory dumps. And then everyone split up to attend to various different things around the city. Cobb journeyed to the overlook outside of the city walls, communing with his divinity, seeking guidance, and dropping a little mini bomb about some sort of deal, I believe, which we may or may not get further into.
I don't doubt it.
Higgins and Uvik visited a couple of different local administrations, some heraldry, some guilds, that type of thing, seeking information and leads on a symbol that Higgins had and believed was tied to the killers of his former master. And in the meantime, Bansii visited the outer city, making contact with Euchronia, a priestess of Saint Verona the Meek. Bansii formed a pretty good rapport with the priestess after turning in or donating several toys that she had made. And Euchronia seemed more than willing to aid Bansii with information and stuff like that, primarily about the recent fires, as Bansii interested in those, and with some coordination with local watch. Later that evening, everyone gathered back up, did their stuff, and then the next morning, where we actually pick up, during the morning meal, Yoham came and told everyone that Ambrosio had not yet returned from his shore leave. That it wasn't necessarily urgent, he was just a little late at this point, but that, if nothing else, him being late would cause complications with the rotations of the other crew members, and Uvik promised to. And that's where we jump into things. So, still in kind of like downtime, chill, figure things out mode. And I believe last time, right before we quit, we had talked about kind of what everyone's plans are. Now, no one is necessarily beholden. You're not it's not written in stone. Whatever you told me last time is not required. But I may have prepped certain things for certain people, so keep that in mind. What do you want to do?
Hey guys, do you want to get on the boat and just go somewhere?
Yeah, everyone just
let's set out.
the fuck
I think
out.
it's time to sail.
Cool, sweet.
Yeah, you just get some fishing in or something, just off the coast.
Well, I can say that you have not been given orders for your vessel to be taken out of port. So, at the very least, if you get caught, you're gonna get a really stern talking to, and at the most, maybe flogged and, put in the socks, and probably demoted.
Oh,
so,
Flogged?
Okay.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Good damn.
The second I'm in a stockade, I'm saying, what are you doing, Step Warden?
You're gonna flog Rex the Slayer Bansii?
That's true.
The Rex
That's true.
Slayer?
We still have to figure out exactly what that Rex Slayer title gives you. So keep that in mind.
It's like plus 50 to all damage rolls.
As we kind of noodle.
Especially because she doesn't really like titles, recognition.
It could be that you kind of want to try to keep that on the down low. Maybe Bansii actively works to try to like counteract that title getting out. You know,
It might be that.
could be a thing.
Could be a thing.
Yeah.
Whose murder mystery is gonna go first?
So that's why I was gonna say anyone who wants to jump in can just be like, we're very freeform about this.
Well,
but
I would
anyone
like to
who
head
wants to
to
jump in can just do whatever.
the steel and see if I can't find just get eyes on Ambrosio just to see if he's
Okay, cool.
futzing about.
I will say as a little bit of documentation, because I think we touched on this last time, Lily, because you mentioned donating your toys, and in the progress bar of downtime activities, you had achieved over 50 points, right? But we had talked about you can continue to donate things just from a roleplay perspective without cashing in your points. Or you can cash in your points and get that first 50 bonus. And that first 50 bonus is basically just an edge, so a +2, on interactions with the local relevant community, basically. So, like, anybody who might be involved or attached to that charity or look favorably on that charity. So, probably most of the common folk in the outer city you'd gain an edge on if you wanted to cash those points in. Otherwise, you can save those points for
What does that?
a bigger
Wait.
thing.
Explain it to me again. What does the getting the edge on it mean?
So getting an edge would be anytime you make a power roll to like persuade or, you know, like in any social interaction
To get like
with those people.
information.
Yeah, generally it's about information. It's like it's not going to help you with sneaking around in the local populace, but if you needed to be covertly taken somewhere and you went to a local watch member and you tried to persuade them, they would probably look favorably on you and you'd get that +2 type thing.
Okay.
So.
But you said that if you hold on to it,
so you can hold
you'll
on
get
to it
better ones
instead.
later.
Yes. So I've designed this based off of some of the other downtime projects. So basically you have thresholds. You have 50, 100, 150, 200, and then 300 that you can cash in to each of those. And each of them basically gives you like a slightly more impactful thing, basically. So like 100 basically gives you, instead of getting a +2, getting an edge on the local interactions. I actually designed this one because of some of the stuff you said previously. If you cash in at 100, you get local area informants in the guise of street urchins, because the children of the area come
knew
to
exactly
know
where my
you,
brain is
and
going.
they're like,
That's what I want.
they're like, they like you enough and they know you're good enough that they actually will like they'll just act as informants for you. And as an aside, they won't target you for things that street urchins normally target people for.
I get to keep the stuff in my pocket.
So okay, so you don't that sounds like you don't want to cash out yet. So we will keep the downtime progress going on that particular situation. Okay, sorry about that. That was bookkeeping. Jay, you had jumped in on things. What's going on?
I want to go see if I can find Ambrosio. See what he up to.
Ambrosio. Okay, sounds good.
What he doing?
Okay. In order to find Ambrosio, let's do this real quick. Just cause like, so I'm gonna say, right? Because we're trying to be fair but mindful in downtime activity processes. Going somewhere in town and just meeting and talking to someone does not consume your entire day, right? Which means you should be able to do other stuff for your downtime.
Okay.
Finding someone who you don't know exactly where they are could consume a lot of your day. So what we're gonna do is just throw me a power roll out real quick, and we'll see what you roll. And if it's good, you probably won't have to add anything. And if it's bad, it's not great.
It's bad.
It's bad. Let's see if you
It's
have
very
anything
bad.
relevant to add to that.
Let's see.
Hmm.
Rumors? Not really.
Sure. Okay. So I think probably part of the issue is Pouso is a big city, comparatively to a lot of places. And you are relatively new to the area, right? Like, you've been here a time or two, but we touched on this previously when you all arrived in Pouso. I asked everyone, like, how long has everyone been in Little Ix? And I believe Yuvik, you were like, however the shortest amount of time for me to have been here is. So you have been to Pouso before because you would have had to come here to get your assignments initially. This would have been where you would have arrived from transport from Capital. But you probably don't know the city that well. You probably have not been in the city for very long, or spent very much time in it. And just finding your way around takes you a little while because of that lack of familiarity. Adding in the complication of what you're actually trying to find is the metal, which is not it's not a hidden location, but it's not outwardly advertised or anything like that. So you have to spend a little bit of your morning just trying to figure out where the fuck you're, like, asking a couple people here or there and getting directions and trying to actually find your way to this location. And in the process of doing that, you find out a couple little things that, some members of the party may or may not have already known. I think I said this previously. Pouso is a growing, bustling city. It's about 20,000 people. So it's pretty densely packed, especially in the outer city. And that is where you end up having to go, which makes finding your way around more complicated because there's a lot of busy people and the streets are very narrow and it's all like crammed together. But comes with the benefit of there being more people to kind of like ask for directions. You end up finding those directions to the metal, which ends up the directions that you get end up taking you basically in an alley in between two taverns, and down this like staircase, and it's one of those like stone staircases like cut into the side of an alley, almost like you're going to a pub, one of those like slightly below ground pubs type scenarios, right? And it looks like a little seedy, but decently above board. From your background, this is like nothing strange or weird or anything like that. Little red door, no signage or anything like that. You just walk up, open the door, and there's like 10 feet of normal-ish hallway. A very, very large rat man standing at the end of the hallway.
Rat man.
Black fur, red eyes, like in a hauberk, like actually armed and decently armored, standing there. And you can see behind, there's not like a doorway behind him. It just goes from hallway to like cave.
Okay.
And you open the door, and immediately his eyes just kind of like narrow at you, and you see one of his big meaty mitts kind of like reaches down. This guy looks nothing like Ambrosio, right? Ambrosio is a little on the shorter side, very lithe, flamboyant, right? This guy is like an ogre meets a rat kind of thing.
Right. So it's Ambrosio, right?
Right? You know?
It's not exactly
His
like
true
Ambrosia.
form.
And he has this basically a morning star, right? A very flanged mace that he is holding on, or as strapped to his side, that he kind of like puts a hand down to. And he just kind of glowers at you. And he doesn't say anything to you. He just grunts and nods his head like back out the doorway, like, you opened the wrong door. Go away. I will ask you a question. All of you are far mariners. All of you have identification. You have uniforms, but you're not required to be in like dress uniform at all times. Especially not when you're on shore leave, obviously, right? But aside from actual uniforms, you all have tokens or badges or things like that that service as identifying markers, so you can be dressed down but still have, you know, identification on you.
I'll
that
just make
people...
the assumption that I have like a pin.
So that's
on
basically
the
like the question is
inside of my lapel.
okay.
So like,
how
I could
easily
just, like,
identifiable as a far mariner are you? Is it like, oh, I opened this?
Not.
So
at all.
normally no one is gonna look at you and be like, that's a member of the military that I probably shouldn't fuck with.
Yeah. So I'll see, and I said, "Hey, good man," and I'll flip the lapel around. I'm like, looking for a crewmate.
You flip that around, and he does the kind of like classic like snort and hawks a loogie into the side of the wall. The wall, not the cave, the like hallway wall, and it just splatters and drips down the side, and you can see there's like wet streaks there. Like this is a thing that he does frequently. Right? Like it's got like the little mucusy stains like a snail trail does type thing.
I'm gonna look at.
Yeah.
My hydrate.
I don't know what reaction you were necessarily expecting. He looks even less pleased now that you have flashed your identification as a far mariner. And so I think we're gonna take a brief pause and we're gonna cycle back for an opportunity at the morning meal when Yoham informed you all that Ambrosio hadn't come back yet, and Yuvik was like, I'll go look for him, right? Yuvik, I think, is the least likely, especially being mostly a seafarer on board a vessel for much of his life, at least the last several years. Higgins probably doesn't really have much information in the way of this, although he has spent the last little bit of time in Capital, so maybe he's picked something up. Bansii and Cobb would be the ones that would know the most about Raiden White's society, but also...
That's right, I know things.
But also how different communities are handled in Capital, right? So I'm gonna lay a little bit of groundwork for world building. I apologize. Some of the things that Bansii and Cobb know about how Capital works is that while the city is this massive, incredibly powerful, incredibly wealthy city, it is really more like a confederation of different powers, right? The Navy, for example, is a very large military power, the largest of Capital's military powers, but not Capital's only military power, right? The Capital does not have a standing army. Instead, it has the Navy, which is awesome, and within the Navy are the mariners, right? But there is no standing army in capital. Instead, every house has their own military, right? With the bigger, more powerful houses actually having like small standing armies that they employ. Estates, like different noble estates or different houses, or things like that, basically are their own small localized sovereignties. And that extends to various guilds and factions and communities of people within capital. For example, in the layers, the below of capital, right, the subterranean kind of like portion of the city, there are a bunch of different places, a bunch of different factions that live down there and are all considered to be peoples of capital. But just like none of them would walk up and dare to walk into the estate of one of the great houses, the great houses also don't just send their soldiers down into those places. And Raiden White's the great metal in Capital is done exactly that same way, right? Like it's every place basically has their own guard or watch. They control that area. The unifying factor is that everyone pays taxes to the prince, basically. But what that means is that everyone has a lot of leeway and is used to other people not meddling in their shit. So, Yuvik identifying himself as a Far Mariner is basically saying, "Hi, I'm House Verona. I'm the Navy, here to meddle in Raiden White stuff." Right?
Mm-hmm. You'll learn.
Which means that when Yuvik announced he was going to look for Ambrosio, it is possible that Bansii or Cobb could have warned him that that
Thanks,
his authority, it's not that your authority won't be recognized. You are still a member of the Navy, and that does mean something. But it doesn't mean you can just go gallivanting wherever you want. And in fact, depending on where you are, you may have less freedoms, as the various different factions and settlements have their own rights of governance, basically, right? So, like, it's not just a custom, it's legally the metal itself has its own rights to govern itself within the collective of the city, right, as a whole. So,
Understood.
did that happen? Would Bansii or Cobb have thought to have warned Yuvik about this type of thing? It's up to y'all. Cobb's like,
I let him make his own
nah,
mistakes.
brah.
No, I mean, if Bansii would have said anything, and it would have been to be tight-lipped.
Damn. You on your own, homie.
You on your own, motherfucker?
No. It makes for better storytelling. It's good.
Okay. This guy looks at you. You kind of like flash your identification as a Far Mariner. This guy looks even angrier. What do you do?
Punch him in the face. It's the only way.
Clearly, that did not do me any favors. But I have a crewmate who also is a Raiden White, and I would very much like to make sure that he's okay. He supposed to show up by now. I just want to check on him and get back. In and out. I won't be a problem.
Roll me
Princess isn't in this castle; it's in another castle.
roll me a power roll. Ooh.
Better.
16, and I do think a +2 on your persuade. That sounded very persuady. So I think a +2 adds onto that very nicely for an 18. This big black-furred rat man just kind of like his whole body is muscle. He's nowhere near as tall as Higgins is. How tall are you, Yuvik, actually?
I am 5'9".
Okay, so he's a
Not-
little taller than you. He's kind of like in the low 6 foot range, right? But
I'm way, way, way thinner.
he
I'm very
is
lean.
he is at least half as wide as he is tall. He's like a cube in this fucking hallway. And he is a thick boy.
Boy.
And he looks at you and you can see every fucking muscle in his body is coiled. Like he's gonna bludgeon you to death in this fucking hallway, and no one is ever going to find your body.
Gotta catch me first.
And then in a very reedy, almost squeaky voice that really does not match his body,
Oh, no.
he just says, "Name."
Yuvik.
No, the name of the
Not
town.
your
Yamasa.
name.
Oh, I thought we were I thought we were about to be friends.
You're looking for someone. Name.
Well, can't win them all, I guess.
I
Ambrosio.
adore this.
Oldham.
You see his face soften immediately. And he visibly relaxes. He kind of like tilts his head, and you see he's relatively subtle about it, but you keep seeing his nose twitch, and you realize he's sniffing. And he takes a long
I got
pause
sniffer.
as he's kind of like sniffing at you. And then his eyes widen slightly as if he has caught the scent of something. And he says, he just kind of says it as a statement rather than a question. You know Brogio.
Oh, we've been sailing together. Like I said, he's a crewmate.
He came in yesterday. He's supposed to be back by now?
He was.
How late is he?
Not very.
He hasn't come back through this way. But there are... He pauses like he doesn't want to say the information that he's about to say. Then he kind of rolls his eyes. It's not like it's a secret anyways. There are plenty of other egresses from the metal. Possible he left through one of those. You can come in and look around. But I wouldn't expect a lot of hospitality. And that, and he points to your chest where you had kind of like showed off the identification, won't win you any favors.
I picked up on that.
If you want to loosen lips, buy some stuff. Be less, I don't know.
Forthcoming about things. Maybe take Bansii's advice and keep things tight.
Oh man, you don't know me. Yeah, we haven't played enough TRPGs yet.
He looks at you and he after he gestures, he actually says, "Less, I don't know, loosen up. You're too tight."
Bansii says, keep it
Oh,
tight specifically.
Damn, they.
Yeah,
If y'all
opposite.
remember Ambrosio is an extremely flamboyant, filled with bravado, very like out there, open, very Riojan, boisterous kind of person, and he is pretty quintessentially a representation of Raiden Whites.
Oh, is he? Okay.
They tend to be a very jovial, loud crowd. This guy in front of you, Yuvik, is actually an outlier. One, because he's real damn big. They are usually significantly smaller than this. But two, because he looks angry, and they are normally very happy folk.
I appreciate the help, good man. I will make sure not to trouble you with any upset people inside.
Carrot.
Well met.
He gives you a weird eye. Weird eye, like he knows what you're doing, he understands the custom, and he's not super happy about it. But he kind of like you see him visibly, his whole body kind of sigh, and he reaches out a hand. And you're an adventurer. You draw steel, right? Like you're a first level hero, but a first level hero is more than a lot of people are. You have capabilities. You see he reaches out to shake your hand with one of his big mitts. As he does, his other hand, which has been kind of like relaxed, right? So he reaches out with his right. His right had been reaching for the mace on his hip, right?
Oh, Jesus.
He reaches out with his right. As he does, his
Not the
left
palm,
reaches down to the pommel of the mace. Like, he does not leave himself exposed for a moment. He can just as easily draw that and clock you with a backswing rather than, like, pull it out the other way, right? So, you seem to have made a good impact on this guy, at least with the mention of Ambrosio. But this guy seems legit in like his at least mindset and capabilities as a guard here, right? He clasps your hand. It's a big hand.
Like, as his meat mallet, like, eclipses mine and takes it, I'm like,
Is what now?
His meat mallet.
Meat mallet. It's not a penis. Not everything's a penis.
Yeah, okay, sure it's
Not
not. bro.
everything's a penis, but many things are
Most things are.
penises.
And, he'll take my hand and I'll be like, God damn.
God damn.
He shakes your hand properly. Grunts, let's
Also,
go
did
of
he
it.
say
Steps back.
Carrot?
He said carrot.
Carrot.
It sounds like he said carrot, like a carrot, but you have no idea how it may be spelled. Question mark, right? Like, so
There's an H in there somehow.
there's like 3.5 H's.
How do you do half an H?
Them half an H.
Isn't
It's
half
a
an H an
sideways.
N?
It's a
There-
C.
there-
A C
I-
is the bottom half of an H. Sideways.
Depends which half you have.
Actually is an H in this name, and I'll give you a bonus point if you can guess what
at the
number
beginning
it
it's
is in.
silent.
CH.
KH.
Hey, I was thinking KH.
Lily gets it. It's
Just
KH.
H.
Nice.
Lily got it first. Yep, it's KH.
Another social title for her.
Lame.
Knower of names. Spelling bee champion.
Fun fact:
Knower of names.
one of my boyfriends way back in the day, his name was Cord, and he spelled it KHORD.
Of course
There you
he
go.
did.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. So he releases your hand. He steps back, Because you can see he's standing basically at the very end of the hall. And you see he steps back to where his feet are in the cave portion rather than the hall portion. And then he just kind of like turns and puts his back to the wall and kind of disappears.
Is he like that fucking wall yokai in Neo?
It's kind of like the wall yokai at Neo. As you can see him, he hasn't like really disappeared, but there's a clearly some sort of like depression in the cave face right there where the cave begins that he can like step aside into to let people pass, which he has done, allowing you entrance into the metal.
I intrar.
Intrar. Fantastic. So Yuvik is going to explore the metal a little bit, but let's flip over to some other people. What are other people doing as the day progresses? Someone else jump in and volunteer themselves.
I'm pretty sure I was with Uvik, so I think I'm kind of just along with his ride, aren't I?
If you want to be.
Yeah, because you agreed to. Yeah, I think that is how that was.
Yeah, I was going to find Ambrosia with him.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I thought this was a solo Uvik mission. My bad.
That's okay.
So
I wasn't going to.
I'm down with it. So
Higgins just standing behind Uvik, just trying to look like his body.
just the whole time.
It's just he just thought you were a part of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
I was trying to match
That's
his
something y'all have in
energy.
common.
Yeah, it's wall boys. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, Oh. Okay, actually, do me a favor, Higgins. Roll me a power roll.
Okay. Power.
Really? Like Mirio?
Yeah. 100%.
That is going to be a +3, which brings that to a 12, which is a tier 2 result. Higgins, roll me a power roll. We'll see how this goes.
Power roll again.
Okay. I'm okay. I'm gonna try to like play this out in my mind. Higgins, you didn't really make yourself known. So I'm gonna say either you were like blocked enough in the doorway by, because it's a narrow hall, right? You were either blocked enough in the doorway by Uvik for the guy just not to notice you, or maybe you were like right outside the door because Uvik just stopped right inside of it, so he didn't see you out there. But as he kind of like steps back, and you both make your presence known, situation's changed slightly. He shifts as he realizes there's a second person, and he moves back in kind of like position as Uvik has stepped forward to like pass, and he cuts you off, Uvik. And he looks over your shoulder at the big stone man, and he grunts and says, "Who's this?"
Higgins Pebbleworth.
He's my
And
butler.
he's
Apparently he's
I
butler.
procure snacks for him.
he gives you like very narrow eyes.
I'm sorry,
Hey, watch.
but Master
Snack me.
Uvik doesn't go anywhere without me.
He gestures at Uvik, and then gestures at you, Higgins. Are you one of them too?
Well, by association, yes.
What's that even mean?
I was sort of forcibly enlisted with the Master.
So you is.
Yes.
Well, that ain't gonna fly.
If it helps, I don't have a button.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
So you telling me if I let yous in and you cause trouble, and they have to put you in a pile and then strip you, they ain't gonna find anything to identify you.
Nope, no buttons.
Make me a power roll and add either persuasion or deception, depending on whether that's true or false, I guess.
I don't actually know. I assume I wouldn't have one, considering I'm supposed to be a spy.
I think it's up to you. I think it's your choice.
I'm gonna go with I don't actually have one.
Then you're being honest. Sounds like persuasion.
How do I add persuasion to it?
That's just you have a +2 on persuasion, so it's a 10. Which unfortunately is still
Where do
a
you see
tier. So I have a list of characters on my right side, like I have a little character tab. I can just hover over each of your names and it shows me a quick synopsis of your skills. That's how I can reference them very quickly. I don't know how to find it on your character sheet, unfortunately.
Well, I'm glad you can, because I have no idea how to tell that shit.
Do you have like a character tab on the right side or anything like that? Where you normally can you hover over that?
It doesn't show any numbers next to my stats or my skills.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
It just tells me
says
the
that you
skills I
have them.
know.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, shit. Mine gives like lift +3, magic +2, persuade +2.
Yeah, no.
Pick
we don't
lock
get that.
Must be
+3.
nice.
Oh. Well, shit. Sorry.
Feedback for Josh.
I guess. So you have to add our stats.
Well, I mean, it's very easy for me to just look at it. But, like, if I call for a roll, then I think it will auto-add. But calling for a roll, it takes longer than just saying, hey, make me a power roll and I can check
Click
your
the
stats.
button.
You know? Especially since, as we play more, it's kind of getting into the D&D mode where it's like, quick, just make me a d20 roll, because if you roll really bad, we're not going to have to worry what your bonuses are to begin with. And if you roll really good, we probably aren't going to have to worry about what your bonuses are. It's only the middling that really matters. So,
Yeah, that's true.
so anyways, +2 still means you're in the tier 1-ish range. And this guy kind of like grunts at you. Not that he disbelieves you or anything like that, just that he's not maybe willing to risk his position on whether or not you're being honest. And he just shrugs and he says, look, if I let both you ends and you start making trouble, well then I'll get trouble. One, fine. But two of you feels like it's the Navy's presence. And, well, we got rules and stuff.
That's fair. Master, I'll leave you to it. I'd rather not make trouble for this.
That's fine. I'm sure Carrot would like the company anyways.
Wonderful. My plan
Who's
to assassinate
Carrot? We got
you
someone on
goes
our crew named
forward.
Carrot?
Fantastic.
When did I miss that? Holy shit.
The KH thing.
The KH thing.
You even
Oh.
commented on
You
it.
even commented
You were
on
What
involved
it.
were we
in
Yeah.
the
literally just talking about? Okay, I'm back. I forgot.
He's back in it, baby. All right,
With the memory of
so
a goldfish.
so
I
we
mean, it's not great.
we had a
I'll
little
be
moment
real.
there. I would say in that case, Uvik is going to be allowed in. Uvik and Higgins together are not going to be allowed in. That being said, Higgins, you could try to find your way in via a different route on your own if you wanted to, or you could wait around, or you could leave and just do your own shit in the meantime. What are you
I don't
interested
really
in?
want to like piss off everybody.
Yeah?
It feels like a bad idea. So, I mean, what else could I do? I was gonna wait for Johan to go down to that bar and see.
I remember that being at least a somewhat group activity that multiple people showed interest in participating in. So,
all right. Well, I'm gonna head back to the ship then, and I'm going to make an extra batch of cookies for Bansii.
okay, cool. Sounds good.
Yay!
Yay! Okay. Bansii, Cobb, what are y'all doing today? One of y'all throw yourself on the blade.
Okay, I'll throw
I
myself on
go
the
and
blade.
I visit.
On the
I
blade.
visit. I visit
I
temple.
thought you said you were resting, Cobb.
That's what I'm doing. JK, I do that. I don't know where I am.
You
or
said
what's
you
been
were going to
happening.
find divers in the town.
Oh,
I don't
maybe
know
he
what's
didn't-
happening. I don't know what time it is. I don't know where I've been. It's it's a hard time for me.
He was
just in
awake all
general.
night, and then he was like,
That's
"I
fair.
need to."
Yeah, I
rest."
was sitting vigil. Stop trying to
He was.
freaking
He
gaslight
was.
me,
He
Jeremy.
was. Okay. Maybe Cobb's just resting for today. Maybe that's all he's doing.
Maybe I'm sitting vigil, bro.
What's Bansii doing then?
He's vigilant.
Bansii is going to the warehouses to see if there's anybody that can answer questions about the fire.
Right. Okay, cool. Simple enough to follow the way down the docks. There is a wall that divides the naval yard, both a sea wall and an actual wall, like in the city, that coincides with kind of like the inner city and the outer city. That divides the naval yard from the civilian docks. But you can go down the docks of the naval yard, and then once you get there, you just pop out briefly into the inner city, and then there's a little, guarded gate that you can go through into the outer city, and then swing back around into the actual docks area. And that's basically along the south portion of the civilian docks is where the majority of the warehouses are. So you have to make your way a fair ways across the city, but it's a pretty straight shot for the most part. Lots of activity on the civilian side of the docks. Lot of fishing vessels coming in and out. A fair number of mercantile vessels or trade vessels coming in and out for the city itself. But it's mostly a fishy environment. Lots of that wonderful sea smell and fish gut smell mixing together. A fair amount of the vermin of the sea around and about. A bunch of seagulls all over the place, pretty much. And it's a very lively morning. Lots of people calling and crying and etc. etc. Once you actually make it down to the southern portion where the majority of the warehouses are, it does not take you any real amount of time to identify the burnt out husk of a particular warehouse that is towards the back corner of a row of warehouses, kind of like a block of warehouses. And then in that vicinity, you can kind of like start asking questions of people here or there. There seems to have been an amount of cleanup done around the warehouse, and the warehouses themselves are divided up with enough distance that it looks as if there wasn't a lot of threat of the fire leaping from one warehouse to another, and if there was, that seems to have been prevented. There's no like fire damage on any of the buildings around that warehouse. It seems to have been contained, but the building itself is ruined, right? Like it's pretty much a burnt out husk. But it's all been like the area around it has been cleaned up, and there's no like debris scattered about from it like collapsing one side or the other. But there also doesn't seem to be any work being done on it currently. Like, there's no crew dismantling it or cleaning it up or hauling debris away or anything like that. It just seems to have burned down and is now, at least currently, being left there. So,
Is there increased watch officers like protecting the rest of the areas, or does it just seem like everybody's written this off as a one-time thing and they're not worried about vandalism?
you see the telltale signs of a couple of different watch members in the area. In the docks as a whole, you see plenty of people, both who you would identify as watch members and who you would identify as probably mercenary guards. There's a fair number of merchants in the area, and probably the majority of the mercenary guards are in their employ. So the area as a whole it's got a fair amount of people that seem to be looking out for things. This particular area of the docks with these warehouses is thinned out in comparison, but there's enough activity here that it seems as if people are cognizant of it, but it's not like it's been locked down or heavily fortified, right? So it's kind of like this middle ground where it's like it doesn't feel like they're ignoring it, but it also doesn't feel like they're overly concerned.
Yeah. And it's busy enough. Would this place be busy at night too?
Probably, right? There would be less activity. This isn't Poso is a large city, but it's not like Capital, where Capital isn't quite the city that never sleeps, right? But there are places in Capital that are perpetually going, right? Where the nightlife is just as much as the day life. That's probably not the case here, but there is enough activity and enough bodies that there are probably night crews that do various work or tasks. It's just probably, maybe 20 or 30% of the activity that you'd find in the daytime.
Are they looking at Bansii a little fearful?
I mean, you definitely get the looks that you normally get, right? You get people that are like, whoop, that do the double take, but no one gives you too much of an appraisal. Nothing that would come across as like rude or suspicious, right? Like that type of thing.
Trying to pick a fight, Bansii.
I'm trying to find an informant that might be scared into telling me something.
There's definitely I think the actually roll me a power roll. Let's see how this goes. I think there's a potential here.
Oh, Snake Eye.
Okay. Well, that
That's the
changes
equivalent
things
of
slightly.
Snake Eye.
So you make it over to this warehouse section, and you're kind of like investigating. You're looking around. This section of the warehouses is on the southern end of the docks. You have noticed that the portion closest to the naval yard and thus closest to the inner city of the docks tends to be the wealthier portion, and the further you go south, the kind of like poorer things become. So since you're in the southernmost portion of the civilian docks, this is kind of like where the poorest vessels are. And
would the container have been in a poorer area because it's in the back left?
the warehouse, yeah, the warehouse that you're investigating is absolutely in kind of like the poorer area of the docks, which would indicate, right, that these warehouses are probably warehouses used for not for fisheries or anything like that. They're not designed for that, but probably for merchants or tradesmen of less robust financial means than those closer to the naval yard, because those are where the kind of like wealthy merchants are docked and have their private warehouses and things like that, right? Whereas these are more like warehouses that anyone could probably pay to rent, type of thing.
Okay,
But
so as I approach the charred warehouse,
well,
the
while
one that's
you're
clearly, yeah, I'm
while
gonna
you're
go
over
walk up
here
to
with
it.
that 4 that you roll,
Uh-oh.
you're looking around, and what are the? Okay, that's what they're called. I had to think for a second. New World, who dis? You're looking around and kind of like taking everything in and you know, formulating your thoughts and everything like that. But you're over near that warehouse. While this is happening, and potentially as you're starting to kind of like look for a mark or try to, you know, find someone that maybe you could get some information out of, a group of 4 very large, very muscular, very blonde men come around the corner. All 4 of them stop, see you. One of them raises a hand, points a finger at you, and shouts something in a very guttural tongue that you do not understand. But they all look like they've seen a ghost. How?
Do they
Roll-
look like they're going to attack me?
Roll me another power roll.
My rolls today.
Oh, 10. Do you have anything? Okay, so I will say you have +3 on read, and you have a +3. Okay. So you have a +3 on read person and a +3 on culture. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a dual split on this roll. So a 13 gives you a tier 2 result. You don't get the feeling that they're going to attack you. That's part of your read person. You don't get the feeling that they're gonna attack you, because as soon as you see these very tall, very muscular, very blonde men, you identify them as Vannermen. Which are basically like the Vikings of this setting. They come from a very like snowy, cold northern land north of fuck, wherever Higgins is from. My brain is dead at the moment. And you know them, just, you know, vicarious information that you picked up here or there. You know, Vannermen are known to be an incredibly superstitious lot. They're not looking at you like they see a ghost. They think they actually are seeing a ghost right now. They unlike the citizens of Capital who are used to the undead, these men are not from here, they are not from Capital, and they are not used to seeing an undead figure walking around. So right now, it's kind of like slow time, like Frozen moment where it's like, you know, the choice pops up on your screen of like, how do you want to approach this situation? Because they are clearly frightened of you. You don't think, they don't look like they're about to attack you, but they very well might run the fuck away. So what do you want to do?
Bansii will just raise her hands up, like, not like necessarily surrender, but to show them like
she's casting a spell on them.
Yeah, I guess they could interpret it that
spellcasting.
way, but
It's
more
a
like they could
curse.
see her hands, like she's not going to
You're doing
do
the
anything.
peace, chill. No weapons.
Yeah.
We're good. Kind of like scenario. You're not doing the ooh.
I mean, they could probably interpret it that way. I'll leave that up to them. But this is
Okay.
this is what she's doing.
Are you trying to affect a calm down, I'm chill kind of vibe? Or are you trying to yeah? Roll
I don't
me.
know that she'd be super effective at it,
Yeah.
but she doesn't want to cause a scene.
Roll me a power roll.
My rolls, they're gonna be low. Low
Your
rolls today.
your
Look at all
hands
these rolls
slowly
tonight.
come up. One of the ones that isn't pointing at you shouts something again in this guttural tongue you don't understand. All three of these, and when I say large men, I mean like they're almost Higgins size. They're very big dudes. Like, you don't normally see humans that are this big. Oh god. What's that? Oh shit.
Evangelion.
No, I forget his name every single time, and I shouldn't forget his name.
Jason
Shinji.
Momoa.
Everyone.
Shinji from Evangelion.
Oh well, Jason Momoa is probably a good example, but I had this the image of fuck, now I've forgotten his name. I'm forgetting everybody's name in my head. Whatever. We'll use Jason Momoa. These are big guys.
Big
These
people
are all
do.
like very tall, very broad-shouldered, very bulky guys. One of them shouts as
But
you
Bansii
raise your
isn't
hands.
phased because
They all
because
turn
of her
and they
crudeness.
all run, screaming, shouting in Vanar, this tongue that you do not understand, at the top of their heads, screaming,
Baba Yaga!
rounding a
Baba
corner
Yaga!
down these in between these two other warehouses, and immediately out of your sight and away from you, which promptly alerts the watch, and in about 30-45 seconds you have whistles blowing, and you're not beset, but some people do end up finding you. Some watch members do end up finding
Those,
you,
like,
and
two
one of them
stars
approaches
in
you and is
GTA.
like, do you see a bunch of tall bannermen running around screaming something about and he uses a term that I don't know how to pronounce, but I'm not sure if Bansii would be familiar with anyways. Right? And then after he says that term, he motions like, why'd I say that? That's stupid. And he gestures up and down to you. You.
A year.
Yeah. And Bansii would say, yes, they saw me.
Any problems? I assume, I don't want to assume, I assume they just got spooked.
They obviously didn't know what I was.
He throws up his
what I
hands, just
am.
like, Bannerman. Everything good here then?
I actually have some questions about this warehouse.
Oh. Sure. He motions, because there were two other guys with him, he motions to them and just kind of like signals, and they turn around, they walk off. They're like, okay, this was nothing, whatever, we're gonna go back to doing what we were actually doing. And he says, what do you need to know?
Did it burn at night?
Yeah, yes. It was... Fuck. 5 nights ago at this point. First saw the signs a little after 2 in the morning, I think. By the time anyone got to it, it was too far gone. But the brigade was able to keep it from jumping to anything. Burned all night and most of the next morning until storm came in and helped put it out.
Did it start from the inside of the warehouse?
He kind of like squints as he's thinking about it. He says, I'm not honestly too sure. I believe the final assumption is that yes, some fire started on its own. He's you recognize it immediately. He's a man trying to relay information that he heard from someone else who probably heard that information from someone else. And I think Bansii is intelligent enough that he doesn't know what it is, but he's trying to say spontaneous combustion.
Okay. Do you know who owns this warehouse?
Communal, I believe. There's a collective in the outer cities, where a bunch of the citizens pay percentages and dues, basically. Anyways, there's a lot of property that is owned by the collective. And some of these warehouses are included, and they just rent them out to whoever can afford it or needs to at any given time. So no individual stake owner, as far as I'm aware. There were a couple of different people who had storage lots in the warehouse. I think a half a dozen or so. But nothing nothing untoward or nothing that seemed that big of a loss. Honestly, most of the goods, I believe, were insured and written off.
Any of the medical supplies?
I don't believe so. You see him kind of thinking for a second, and he's like, You're
Investigator. That's right.
Bonds. Like he's heard your name, but he heard it from someone who heard it from someone who heard it from someone, type scenario. And you remember you spoke to a member of the Watch yesterday to try to like get your name out there and kind of like put them out.
Oh yeah, I did.
Put them
I
on this kind of like the trail of, hey, I'm investigating fires, just a little worried about stuff, maybe keep an eye. And it looks like that word of mouth has already gotten out, which probably isn't especially difficult considering your countenance. It's probably a pretty good gossip piece for the Watch to be like, hey, this undead lady named such and such came up to me and was like, hey, watch out for this. So that probably made the rounds pretty quick. And he seems to have recognized you from this information. He just doesn't quite have your name, and he's grasping at it.
Bansii.
The one looking out about the fires.
Yes.
The devil.
Yeah, you see, he had been kind of getting a little stiff at some of the questions. He was answering your questions, but he had been getting progressively stiffer the more pointed your questions had become. And you see him kind of like visibly relax, as if whoever he had spoken to or wherever he got his information was trusted enough for him to feel like he can trust you or not be worried about you. But he visibly relaxes and he says, there weren't any medical supplies that I'm aware of. There were a couple of manufacturing pieces that were there that I think they think might have started the fire. Alternatively, there were quite a few bales of hay that were being stored in there. There was some concern because pretty recently, only about 2 or 3 weeks ago, apparently a merchant had stored a lot or had rented a lot and was going to be storing black powder there. And so there was some initial concern when the fire broke out because people thought it might explode. But it didn't, so apparently the black powder had been moved before then. We spoke to I wasn't involved. During the investigation, I think the merchant was tracked down and the powder, I think, was commandeered by the Navy, I presume. But either way, it didn't blow up, so that's good.
That is good. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. Always good to have eyes, concerned citizens, all that. And he kind of like taps his shoulder, in a gesture that isn't familiar to you, but you've seen a couple of the watch members do here or there, so it seems like it's some local like identifying marker, or maybe not an identifying marker, but like maybe like a salute or something that this particular town's watch does. And he kind of does it. He doesn't do it to you. He just kind of does it reflexively, as if he said something or you said something, and it made him acknowledge a thing.
Cool.
Right. Well, I'm gonna get back to it. So, you have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Roll me a power roll as he leaves.
Better?
That is gonna be a 16 with your alertness. Which is a tier, almost a tier. As he leaves, you see something that you've already seen a bit here or there. It's just not something that I'm describing every time you see it. But you see a couple of raccoons skittering across the top of one of the nearby warehouses. You see them skitter across the top, dip out of sight, and you go, it's just animals being animals wandering around. And then right before you look away, you see another raccoon pop out of the top of a warehouse, like as if they just came. They didn't come like over the edge or around a corner or something like that. It's like they just popped up out of the roof of the warehouse, and then that raccoon scampers off away as well.
Like they're living there?
Like it came out from inside the building, right? Like there's maybe there's like some broken portion of the roof that allowed them to get inside, or something else.
Is there an easy way to get up there?
Not unless you have some sort of special ability that I'm unaware of. There doesn't seem to be like
No.
a ladder or an easy like way to climb or get on top of something and then hop over to it or anything like that. So
Are these like the ones that were on the ship?
yeah,
Hmm. Okay. Ah.
sounds like a plan.
I think Bansii would be too like would find that interesting, but not interesting enough to like act on.
Sounds like a plan.
So she will start her journey. Oh wait, she was supposed to ask the guy. Is the guy still within sight?
Yeah, I mean, he's, 60, 70 feet down the way, but you could easily, like, shout and run to catch up
she'll
to him.
call out to him, just like, "Hey, wait, I forgot."
Yeah, he stops,
Um,
turns.
She'll run up to him and she'll ask him. Well, maybe not run because it'll spook him, but she'll come to him and ask him about the what is it called? The insignia that
Higgins?
Is the bear? I don't remember what Higgins' insignia.
Yeah. Higgins, can you describe the insignia or the symbol that you're
Sorry.
searching for information about?
It is a white bear claw slashing across a black field.
Yeah, so she'll describe that and ask if he or if any of the guys have seen it or come into contact with anybody who has that sigil.
Roll me a power roll.
4.
17!
It's pretty good.
I may not get to the bottom of mine, but we might get to the bottom of yours.
Might get to the bottom of something.
This is 7.
He pauses for a long moment, and he seems like he's trying to recall something. He says, "That sounds really familiar."
Did to me too.
Shit.
Oh, shit.
It's gotta be like a mercenary banner or something that we get. So many of the wealthier merchants coming through hire small mercenary bands. Nothing large, but like 5-10 people, that type of stuff, as additional guards to protect their vessels. Fair amount of pirates in the area, that type of thing. But it's gotta be one of those. I can't imagine where else I would have seen it. I can't think of a name for anyone or anything like that, but I mean, maybe if you narrowed your search down to some of the taverns near the upper docks, that might do it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, good luck. And then he heads off. Okay. I think we're heading back to Uvik, but we'll pit stop on Cobb and Higgins real quick. Anything changing, or is that what y'all are doing for right now? Baking cookies and resting.
Can't
You
really
let me know
think
when I'm rested.
You're good to go whenever you want to go.
Lily said I was tired, so I was just
Lily.
I was being tired.
Lily said you were tired.
Lily specifically, she said you're tired.
You're tired. I think Cobb is rested enough to go do whatever he wants to do during the day, whenever he would like to go do that.
Okay. I go and I dive.
Like you said, died.
I
No,
also
I dive.
dive.
No, I dive.
Giddy.
Go and dive.
Wait, how many? Do I still have another day? Do we still have another day after this? Because
Yes.
I actually
Yeah, you have
something
one
I
more
wanna do
day
more
after
than
this.
diving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Well, then
one more
today
day
I
of
go
shore
and
leave.
dive.
Today you dive. How does
Maybe
your
I
neck
dive.
not
And he
break like
dies.
that? Your neck is like so.
My neck is made of rocks. It's hurtful for you to say things like that, though.
Here. Okay. When you say you go dive, are you just going off and doing your own thing, a la diving in the fucking bay, or are you going to look for people to do a specific thing?
I'm going to the Divers Guild where we all learn to dive. They have that little thing, that booth where it puts the helmet on you, where you just hold your breath.
I'm not
And they
sure
have the
there's
little.
actually
They got no.
divers
Look, I am of the
guild.
Navy. We have these at every place. They may
Now,
not be very
okay,
big, but they exist.
that I believe more. I believe that more than there being just a divers guild. Although maybe there would be a divers guild, but I think that would be for a different thing. That would be like there might be a divers guild in the outer city, but that would be more for like free diving, for like collecting pearls and stuff like that, rather than diving with like equipment, you know. So
I do
if you're,
both,
but
I don't need
I do
equipment.
think you are probably correct. There probably are a couple of, probably a very small contingent of naval divers here. So they probably do have some small headquarters that's tucked away here in the naval yard, and it's probably not a very probably not very glamorous, because these naval divers are probably used primarily to clean barnacles and shit like that, or salvage vessels that sink in the bay, or that type of thing, right? But they would have the hardware that you're looking for. So
They have pool of water. Okay, we've done it.
I don't know. They might not have pool of water, but they probably have helmets and things like that. With some enchantments going on. So I think, Cobb, if you are going to go do that, I think we're gonna jump.
Do that.
We're gonna jump into a scenario, and you're gonna tell me as you walk into the it's a small brown building on the corner of the naval yard, the northeast corner of the naval yard. Small brown building, like no bigger than a house, a small house, right? And you walk in, and there's like a little office, like a little lobby scenario with a counter and everything like that. It's making NPC time. Who the fuck is the NPC that Zach wants to interact with as Cobb? That is your contact at the naval diving headquarters in Pouso.
Yeah, his name is Charlie, but we call him Cookie.
Charlie?
Charlie, not Charlie.
Charlie. Okay, well, we call him Cookie. That seems
But
acceptable.
we call him Cookie.
Okay, who is Cookie?
That's right. He's a guy.
It's what kind of guy?
I'm unfamiliar with the races of this area.
Just a human?
He's a lizard man. Are lizard men a thing? He's a lizard man.
I mean, you've encountered lizard folk, absolutely. That would be.
Oh, he's
very.
I forgot about that. That left me.
That would
Are
be.
lizards a
That is an interesting pick. So Cookie is a lizard folk. Male, female,
That's right.
other gendered. What are we thinking?
No, I don't see gender.
other gendered?
Well, there's a lot of potential options to choose from, so I'm trying to be concise here. What?
He's a dude. He's a dude cook.
Seems like a dude cook.
Yeah, he was a cook on a naval vessel, but then he became a Navy diver.
Is this just what's his face from that one movie?
It's Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, I was
from
gonna
Cuba
say
Gooding.
this
Yes,
is just fucking. God damn it!
that's correct.
It's
I
Cuba
can't believe
Gooding
it took you this
Jr.
long
as
to
a
get it.
lizard folk. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All
That's
right,
where
great.
we're at. Yep.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Do you know this? Are you familiar with this person? Because you, as we previously established, you're the person who has been in Little Ix and thus in Pouso the longest out of the crew.
Yeah, we see each other every once in a while, but
Okay, so
this is not my home
you're
base,
familiar.
so-
Like when you walk in, Cookie is able to just point, grunt, and acknowledge you.
That's correct.
What kind
I'm
of
acknowledged.
personality does Cookie have?
A good
And
one.
as a lizard folk, is Cookie, how fluent is Cookie in communicating to you?
I don't have the answer to that.
Okay.
But so he's in the town, so he speaks languages.
Other question is,
He's got to get by, man.
because there are lizard folk around the world of Ord, right? Like Little Ix is not the only place that has lizard folk. So is Cookie a lizard folk native of Ix that has joined in with like the colonizers, or is Cookie a lizard folk from some other place that has come here and is a part of the Navy?
He's definitely from elsewhere.
He's definitely from elsewhere. Okay, gotcha. That's the plan. Then I'd say he's probably
doubt about that.
he's very fluent in Kalian and probably Rionan. So he just you come in, he gestures, Cobb. What are you doing?
Oh, I said just here to get in the open water there, Cookie.
Oh God, I hate it.
What?
I don't have that answer, Mitch. You know I don't have that answer. I don't know why you would even ask.
I love it.
Honestly, I don't know why you would ask.
Oh, how would
Cobb
you?
becomes a completely different person when Cookie's around.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a minute, and I don't remember
been a
what
minute.
I was doing or who
If
I
I was doing a thing, does Cobb? Okay, what kind of relationship do you think Cobb and Cookie have? Is it adversarial? Is it amicable? Are they buddies?
I'd say it was polite. Cobb respects Cookie for what he's done, but he feels like he's better than he is.
Okay, gotcha. Cobb has a little bit of an elitist complex,
Chief, right? I'm Master Chief.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the best. I mean, I can be nice, but I'm the best.
Well,
All right, cool.
But Master
Yeah,
Chief,
no one
Master
ever
Chief's
was.
not exactly the top. But,
Well, So, okay, Cobb comes in, Cookie, acknowledges you. I'm gonna say, right, like through your prior history and experience, you have the credentials to come in and utilize the services and the facilities that this place provides without any issue. What do you want to do? Are you just wanting to do another downtime roll to further your progress? Is that your plan, or are you doing something else?
I'm working on breath holding again.
Okay,
Specifically breath holding.
then do me another roll for that. So power roll, and I believe.
Yeah. Oh, very good. I hate this game. I don't think I've ever rolled good.
That's not true. You've definitely
I'm pretty
rolled
sure
well.
it is true.
Nah. I'm sure you've rolled well. Probably only in combat, though. That's probably the
I
thing.
don't think so.
You only
Well,
roll
actually,
well in
maybe.
combat. Okay.
Anyway, whatever. I hold my breath, right? Whatever. I'm doing it.
I believe we were adding a +4, or were we only adding a +2?
I have no idea.
I think we might have been only adding a +2.
I'm fluent in breath holding, though, I'll tell you that. And diving.
Well, you're getting the plus
on
2
my
from
list.
you're getting the plus 2 from your swim. And you're using that to try to further enhance. You're doing a honing abilities downtime activity. So we're gonna give you 8 points out of that. And that's going to take up the majority of the rest of your day as you go through the motions, practicing that, doing what you got to do, etc., etc. Okay.
Sweet, I do that.
Another row. Sorry, I'm making notes. What's my brain? Where's my head at?
How dare you invoke the lyrics of Basement Jacks?
Okay. Notes made. Higgins, popping over to you. Do you want to make a downtime roll or do anything like that? Or are you just making cookies? Because making cookies won't take you all day. So if you want to make a downtime roll, you can make it.
No. Yeah, so I mean, downtime roll, I could do that. Is that just doing more research towards my?
Well, you have a couple
first,
things
like,
going on
kind of
right now.
stuff?
The
Or
two
is that-
things you have going on right
Or
now
is that
are
mastering a recipe?
yeah. Well, you have the recipe, which you're at 49 out of 100, so you could keep working on that, or you could keep working on your gathering information about your master's killers.
I'm already
Scenario,
in the
which you're
kitchen.
at
I'm
23.
gonna try and master this pie.
Okay. Roll me a power roll. I believe
Okay.
you have a
Power!
Ooh,
Plus
13.
6.
Power!
Good. You say plus 6?
Yep.
Is that bullshit? Did you just pull that out of your ass? Yeah? Uh-huh.
100% true.
Because it looks like your
It was.
cooking
Go
is
back and
listed
check
as
the
plus
VOD.
0.
No, go back and check the VODs.
Mm-hmm.
We negotiated for a 6 because it's a Hakan pie.
It's a Hakan pie. Actually, I think you're right. I think it is more... Is it plus 6? Plus 6 sounds
Yep,
like so
plus 6.
much. I do think it's more than a plus
Sounds
0.
more familiar than not, I'll be honest
But
with
I
you.
don't know that I believe you on the plus 6. I'm just going to
How
notate...
the balls is my cooking 0?
That is a good
I'm
question.
a master chef.
That is a very good question. I think it's because... Huh. Why is that? Is cooking a
I'm
reason
being
skill?
robbed.
Huh. You wish I had a better way of figuring out your stuff. Where do you get your cooking from? Is it just from Hakan?
I think
No.
it's from my master chef thing, isn't it?
Yeah. That's your complication, right?
Go to builder. Oh, there's more stuff in here. They retweaked
Yeah,
the builder.
they've been
Okay.
reworking things. Yeah, absolutely. It looks much nicer. I actually really like how it looks now. But okay, I've clicked that. Am I gonna add? No, because you already had cooking. It just doesn't add anything.
Yeah, so Master Chef gives me, you have the cooking skill from the crafting skill group. Additionally, whenever you finish your spider, wake up, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. It just doesn't.
So I get it from Master Chef.
Yeah. But whatever it is, it's the same thing as like your criminal underworld. I think it's a reason skill, and you're not. You have a -1 in reason, so you're not actually getting any bonus in it. You know?
I'm not reasoning with the food.
But-
This is bullshit.
But you still, I will say, so it feels weird in the concept of us coming from like Dungeons and Dragons, right? But in theory, the difference in Draw Steel, I think, is the theory that you're not supposed to be using skills that you don't have in Draw Steel, basically. So even though you don't have a bonus to them, you have the skill which lets you actually make the rolls with that skill. Is basically how it works. I think is how that works. Oh, I just moved you. Sorry. I like how you teleport.
Don't move me.
Anyways. Okay, so I will double check because I am pretty sure I was giving you a bonus, but I don't remember what the bonus is. I will double check and get back to you. Either way, it's not like you're going to have finished with the 13, even if you have a bonus, but it does push you up to at least a 62, and maybe a little more than that. And I think we will go back to Uvik at this point. Uvik, you are allowed access to the metal. You step inside. How's your dark vision?
That's a great question, considering the state of my eyes.
Do you have any?
Is dark vision a thing in this game?
Oh, yeah.
No, it is
Absolutely
not listed as dark vision. I don't see anything that gives me dark vision.
I say it's a thing, but I'm pretty positive it's the thing. I could be misremembering. Well, regardless of whether or not it's a thing, I'm gonna make it a thing. So you step in, and this initial area that you step into a cave system, right? And immediately past this guy, like 10, 15 feet, it bells out. It's not like a massive cave, like cavernous type scenario. It's more akin to a bunch of small burrows that are all interconnected. You step into a little space that's it's not really like a foyer, but it is the next kind of like open space past the entry hall. So there's not a lot of people here, but there are kind of like a couple of like little offshoots, and when I say little offshoots, I mean tiny looking fucking tunnels that just are at different levels of the walls that just go off, and they don't all like go straight off in a direction. Some of them like go down at angles or up at angles. This is both a settlement and also a actual burrow, right? The metal is a convoluted place to try to explore, and you can see there are tunnels like you would expect designed for a individual of human-ish stature to traverse from one section of the metal to the other. And in the open kind of like burrow spaces, there's dim light from various different objects. Sometimes there will be a lantern, sometimes there will be a couple of candles, sometimes there's like glowing moss or like other little artifacts or things like that that emit a low amount of light, enough for you to see and navigate around. But in the tunnels going from one section to the next, there's barely any, if any, light at all. It's basically just whatever light is filtering in from where you came from and where you're going. So there are these points in the tunnels where everything momentarily kind of like goes pitch black. Like if you round a corner and you're out of the source of one of the lights and everything's just dark for a fucking moment, where you're like, oh shit. But
all right,
you're allowed to navigate this place
on the wall and keep walking.
And it's crowded, and there's a bunch of Raiden Whites here. all different colors. Black, brown, white primarily are the main colors. A bunch of different variations, the shades of how deep a black it is, what the various different a shade of brown it is. All of the white ones that you see, white tends to be one of the rarer fur patterns. All of the ones that you see that are white are much like Ambrosio. They are that kind of like shock pure white kind of scenario, typically with very red eyes.
It's kind of like the
They're-
traditional like albino.
Yes,
kind
very kind of traditional albino scenario. You note that you see no, like, I guess I'd call it like calico, right? Like you see no white with other colored patterns, right? It's either all white or basically, like, I wouldn't say no white. You see a couple of brown and black furred Raiden whites that have like a patch of white here or there, but that's probably even rarer than the white Raiden whites themselves. But with the rarity of the white Raiden whites, you find yourself kind of like, as you're looking around, doing this whole like, oh, like, oh, I just saw a flash of white. Is that
No.
No, that's not Ambrosio, right? But you also see a few other races here or there. They are by far the rarest thing you see down here. It is almost entirely just Raiden whites, but here or there you'll see a human or someone of orcish ancestry. You don't see really any of the other kind of like rarer races. None of your motley crew kind of style. Absolutely no other Time Raiders walking the fuck around here. And you realize and this may or may not be a normal thing for you, but you get a couple looks, but you don't get that many looks. And you see,
I make sure to keep my second set of arms tucked in my
you
coat.
see a couple of orcish ancestry individuals here or there as you're exploring around, and it's a safe assumption that most of the people that see you just assume you are a skinny orc.
It's a skork.
A skork. Get skorked. You have free run of the metal. What do you want to do?
Like periodically, I don't like if I find somebody that is not like busy or something, I'll start asking around. Just to. Sorry, don't mean to bug you, but I'm looking for a friend of mine, a Raiden White, white, young.
Okay. So you're basically just
That's a
like
lot of
trying
them.
to find people that seem amicable enough to speak to just ask.
Right.
You're just doing the classic
ask.
ask around kind of scenario.
I'm just gonna ask around.
Yeah. Roll me a
schmooze.
power roll. 9, and you're gonna have a +2 off of your persuasion, probably, would be my assumption. Okay, so you are wondering. Roll me another power roll. You get a +0 on this.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
buddy.
are not doing great.
All
tonight,
right,
guys.
okay. Only Bansii can roll
rolls have been
anything. Love it.
Not ideal.
You wander around
Better
this
storytelling.
place, and you're conscious enough to, be. I think Yuvik is a careful enough individual to be cognizant of where his coin purse is. Coin purse is, anyways.
That's
But
a coin purse that
especially-
mice carry.
especially in a small, like confined, heavily trafficked location like this. You go from kind of like borough to borough, and it's almost like this sprawling underground market, right? Lots of people around, lots of like hawking, lots of like moving and people being involved in various different discussions and shit like that. You get a couple of like dirty looks here or there. You get a couple of like interactions where it's very obvious to you that they're only gonna talk as long as you like show some coins or some interest in like buying a thing or what have you. Nothing to the point to where it's gonna like hurt your standing of wealth, but like buying a little snack here, buying a little trinket there, that type of thing as you're kind of like going through, just kind of like schmoozing and perusing items and things like that. You don't really get much actionable information. You get like a little bit here or there. Are you willing to divulge Ambrosio's name as you were asking around for him, or are you keeping that close to the
As
chest?
I realize it's not working, yes, I would start dropping his. In fact, what I'll do is I'll use the short name that Carrot used. Just call him Brogio.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you get.
Make it sound more.
You get. It's not open hostility, but it becomes a scenario of like very obviously, this is a relatively tight knit community. And as you're exploring, right, it's very easy to see just by the traffic that comes and goes and who takes what passageways that you and the non-Raiden Whites tend to be the only people moving around through the open passageways. Raiden Whites, you'll see a Raiden White pop out of a wall, say hi to someone as they're crossing the stretch of a burrow, and basically jump into a tunnel this big in the side of a wall and just fucking disappear, right? And there's Raiden Whites coming and going left and right all over the place, whereas all the rest of you jackasses are like walking from one burrow to the next, blah 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 blah.
Like a fucking normie.
You. This is not your place. This is not your world, right? And they are going about their business. You don't get open hostility, but like I said, you don't get a lot of information. Mostly, it seems like people just trying to get a coin from you here or there. Oh, yeah, I totally know this person. You get a couple of hits of recognition where you're like, oh, I said their name, and that person was like, oh, yeah, I saw Brogio yesterday over at such and such place, and you end up kind of like, okay, well, where's that? And try to like follow and track things down, and that is where the 5 comes in. After about 3.5 hours of this wandering around this place, you come to realize that every single one of these burrows and the halls connecting them all look exactly the fucking same to you, and you have no idea where the fuck you are.
Great.
Trapped forever.
I will say
the rodents.
It feels, because like I said, you've been walking around for like 3.5 hours. It feels like you've walked a couple miles. And either that means you are backtracking back and forth through a series of burrows that are all interconnected and you're just lost because there's no like real indication of direction, or this metal spans the underground of the city.
Cool. let's see. I guess as I'm making, if I, as I'm asking around, I'll also start throwing in at the end of the questioning one last question of, what the fuck is the nearest exit?
I think in the timeline that we have kind of like developed here, it is as Yuvik is realizing that he has no idea where he is, that I want you to make one more power roll.
All right, ready for another single-digit power roll?
You're due something.
Cha.
It's a 12. Cha.
Well,
Good job.
A 12. 12 is a tier 2. Which is great. That means, and for clarity, painting a picture, I want to make it clear. When you step into each of these burrows, it's not like you're stepping into an open underground section that is filled with nothing but a few people standing about here or there. You're entering into a burrow, a big burrow, but a burrow nonetheless, that is filled with stalls and people and crates and barrels and packed in like close proximity where you're like sliding past people to get past this group that is standing in front of this stall to get over to here and shimmy across these other people, and the Raiden Whites all seem very comfortable in very close proximity with each other, right? So it is about this time that you are just ending a conversation with a person that you're asking some questions of, and you're realizing, oh shit, you're looking around, I have no idea where I am.
I'm lost. I'm fucking gone, dude.
That you are just aware enough of your surroundings to not be taken by total surprise as a hand shoots out from behind you, grabs your shoulder, and yoinks you back into the shadows between two stalls.
Stabbed.
And because of your tier 2 roll, you don't have command of the situation, but you have an opportunity to respond to the situation rather than being completely caught flat-footed.
Lash out with a knife. It's the only option.
I'm not going to start stabbing.
I'm not
that's
going to start
happening.
stabbing.
Start blasting. Hit him with that gap, bro.
No,
Jeremy, now
that's
you
staying
have to
under the
stab him.
cloak.
Just have to be convinced.
Let's see. I don't have, as far as like moves I can do, I don't think there's anything applicable here. But like, I know I don't want to make a scene, but I know I just want to make sure that I'm not in immediate harm. So like, what I'll do is like, while like someone grabbed my collar and pulled me back, I want to take like one of my arms and like try to like one of the extra arms
Hidden arms,
and try
yeah.
to like
Grab the
their wrist
hand?
and wrench it off.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say
I mean, I'll still remain in the shadows, but I want to be able to get the hand off me so I can turn.
You're trying to put yourself in a less vulnerable position. I say roll me another power roll.
Power roll. Wapow. Single digit, go.
18! Woo!
Oh,
Yeah, I think, it's basically exactly as you described it, right? Like, you have these hidden hands, you're able to, like, shoot one. I imagine that there's, like, hidden slits or something like that in in
Yeah.
your coat
Well, I mean, when
that
he's
allow you
just
to
out and
like
about,
exactly
he has slits for both, so he can have all of his arms out when
100%.
he's on the boat.
So you're able to like, without someone necessarily anticipating it, you're able to like produce this extra. You're not, the arm's not like trapped in there, right? Like you can just ploop arm
No.
out, you know. So you do very quickly, not necessarily gain the upper hand, but you put yourself in a less disadvantageous situation as you reach up,
Perfect.
grab this. Immediately you feel right, very thin arm, furry arm, grab it, turn, twist slightly, not in, you know, the method of trying to hurt someone, but just like allowing
Right.
yourself to turn. And in the process, you hear this high pitched kind of like, ow, 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 Cap, it's me. And you turn and you see Ambrosio has kind of like pulled you into this alleyway in between these two stalls.
Bro, you probably should have started stabbing.
That's fucked up.
Sometimes showing restraint is a good thing.
I'll look at him. I'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm so lost.
And he just
How did
like,
you find me?"
he chuckles at you and he says, "Yeah, that'll do it for outsiders." Oh, fuck! Ow!
Jesus
Damn.
Christ!
You
What
got
is this place?
You got a strong grip. Holy. Sorry for spooking you, Cap.
Yeah. So,
It's,
sorry for the.
I mean, I found you because Carrot sent out a little warning that someone was looking for me, and I got a description of you. Because, I mean, sorry, you're not exactly, like, low-key, and you've been wandering around here for hours, and it took me a while to track you down, and then, you know, but...
Yeah. We're just a little worried. You didn't come back to the boat in time, and
I know, I'm sorry. Look, oh, fuck. Okay, I promise,
You
I
good?
wasn't, this isn't dereliction of duties. I'm here cause I saw some of them. Like how y'all described it. With those eyes, the glowy amber ones.
Where?
In the metal.
Here?
Yeah.
Like within the Raiden one.
That ain't good.
Yeah. Not a bunch. When I was here yesterday, I was just hanging out with some friends and, you know, trying to relax and everything. And then, yeah, it got late. And you can smell on his breath. He's been drinking a bit, enough to where it's close to noon the next day and you can still smell it on his breath type thing, right?
Oh, man.
It's like, it got late, and look, it's shore leave, right? You know how
It's surely. I get it. You don't have to explain it to me.
I was gonna go, I was heading back to a buddy's, because I was gonna, you know, sleep on his couch, that kind of thing, and I saw some coming out of... And he's been quiet this whole time. He gets noticeably quieter. He said, coming out of the conductor's place.
All right. Would I know what the fuck the conductor is?
I don't think Yuvik would have any concept of what the conductor is, but I think having spent some time with Ambrosio and just, you know, vicariously absorbing some of the information from Bansii and Cobb, the Raiden Whites are very quintessentially Ryohan, right? Obviously, like, if you find Raiden Whites in a different country, that's a different thing. But these Raiden Whites are very quintessentially Ryohan, and typically that means very quintessentially an individual of capital, a person of capital.
You're right.
Capital, again, think very kind of like Renaissance kind of like scenario here. The opera, music, composers, they're a big, it's a very big cultural deal to them, right? It is a huge deal, and you don't know anything about who this person is, but if he has a title that people are referring to him as the conductor, it means one of two things. One, he's involved in music, which is culturally relevant, right? But two, it means he's an important enough dude to be referred to by a single fucking title like the conductor.
Yeah.
And that's about
He's
all
either
you
very
know.
talented or very scary.
Yeah, or both, right? Why not both?
Or both.
Possibly.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Yeah, but you don't know anything specific. But like that's quick knowledge that you could glean to just be like, well, he's got a title and it's dealing with music, so you know.
But no, Ambrosio, if this is true, this could be
So that's
devastating.
That's why I didn't come back. It's because so I've been trying to keep a lookout because I just saw them for a moment and they popped in and they popped into a tunnel and I tried to follow them, but I was trying to be, cautious. I didn't want to give away the game, but I lost them. So I doubled back and I tried to just like keep eyes on the place, but I didn't want there to be something going down and not mention it, but at the same time, I felt I had so little to go on, and I knew that you all would come looking for me, or, I'd get some information and I'd become and you get the right, like, it's at this moment where the cracks, the flaws in Ambrosio's plan start to show, and it's the revelation of this is a young, brash individual who wants to become a hero, who looks up to his captains as these individuals that are capable of performing these feats, but he's not quite there yet himself, and he's like talking a game that he really doesn't have at the moment.
Is there anywhere where these specifically like amber-eyed
I just saw
Raiden Whites are?
I just saw two coming out of the conductor's place, which is the hall, the music hall. And I tried to follow them and I lost them, and then I tried to stake out the area, and he doesn't say it, but like he didn't have to say it. He fell asleep, right?
That's right.
But this morning,
if I were to ask you, how close can you get to the music hall without it looking suspicious?
I mean,
how often do people roam around the music hall?
There's right outside. I mean, the musical hall is in one of the long burrows, and the back half of it is mostly food stalls, and there's a fair chunk of the middle section that is set up for like seating, because the hall can only fit so many people in it, right? And then the hall itself takes up the last half of the burrow. But like the hall is the it's the conductor's abode. It's his place of business.
I'm saying,
some say
like,
his muse.
if you can get,
it, unless there's a
you can get me
performance, then
somewhere.
there's unless there's something going on, then most people stay out of the conductor's way.
if I can get on the other side
Oh, there's no,
of a
it's
room,
it's built into the back of that
okay,
long burrow.
all right.
Like, so it's basically if you take like a big oval section, he's basically saying the last half of that section is basically dedicated to some space in front of the hall, and then the hall itself, which is just built into the wall, basically, of the burrow.
The whole, yeah, all right.
And the way he describes it, it's less like hall. He refers to it as the music hall, but it's more probably designed more like an auditorium, right? And
Right.
then
No,
there's
I
probably
just
like
wanna-
an outside seating area that additional people can sit in when there's performances and it's full.
If I can corroborate your story, what you saw, then we might be able to bring this up somewhere. Because if there's another outbreak like there was with the lizard folk, with the Plutsitsky, then there could be a lot of death around the corner.
He looks nervous, right? Like he gets a little quiet. He looks nervous. He
Yeah.
says, when you mean bring this up, you mean to the other captains, right? You don't mean
I do.
taking it up the chain,
To the
right?
high table.
I mean, no, we can't. From what I understand,
you
politically
realize
speaking,
immediately
we're
what
not
he's
going
worried
to
about.
Have, we're not going to have the Navy fucking clear out the metal.
You tell him that? Like,
Yeah, no, I'd say that.
okay, you say that in no uncertain terms, and he looks visibly relieved. Like he looked momentarily worried, right? Like maybe that had been something in the back of his mind, and he looks visibly relieved when you say that. He's like, yeah, so I was trying to get more solid information to bring to you or something. And he looks you up and down and he says, no offense, Captain, but you stick out like a sore thumb. I don't think I think you getting anywhere, if there is something going on, I think you getting anywhere near it is gonna give away the game.
That's why we need Higgins.
Yeah.
Higgins.
I'm
for
sure
all kinds-
1,000
Plunk,
Plunk, Stone Man is don't mind me. I'm just a natural rock formation.
Little did you know, Hakans can shed rocks to become smaller.
Oh yeah. But that's why I was trying to get enough information to be able to bring it back so that you and the captains had something to work with. Because right now it just feels like I saw
What were you planning
something,
on
maybe.
doing before I interrupted you?
What?
What were you planning to do before I interrupted you?
Well, I was keeping watch. I was trying to see if I could see those guys again, or if I saw anything strange, like I don't know, if I saw a dude walking out with a big amber spear. I could be like, hey,
Or a amber baton that you would use to lead an orchestra.
you see his eyes narrow, and you see him furrow his brow and him get really worried, and he goes, but you don't mean, like, you think the conductor is in on it? And you realize he had not made that assumption, right? Like, your thought process goes immediately to, oh, these amber-eyed individuals came out of the conductor's place. Ambrosio apparently has such an opinion of this conductor individual that it never even occurred to him that something might be going on there.
I mean, I'm not saying that. Like, that's not.
He
what
like
I'm
puts a hand up.
implying.
He's like, no. I think I'm the one who's like not fully thinking about it. You're not. Like, I mean, I wasn't there, but y'all, I heard the stories that everyone was telling about what went down back in back in Amostra. But, like, it makes sense, no? Like, that guy, that Rex that y'all beat, kind of, like, took over and then was messing with people's minds. I mean, it could be someone else, but the conductor.
But, like, right, mind control, the conductor.
He doesn't want to, but you see him kind of like nodding along with you. Like, you see this reluctance in his body, but like he what you're saying from a conspiracy theory standpoint, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense. So, I mean, I was just gonna keep watching until I saw something I could work with. I can keep doing that. I don't think. I mean, I think if you go poking around, then I don't know.
It's going to. I'm gonna blow the cover.
Well, I mean, it's not my cover. I don't have to be involved in it. But like, if you go poking around, I mean, I'm just worried if it's like what y'all faced back in the Isle, then if you go poking around on your own, Captain, you might not come back.
Understood. I figured as much. It's been very I wouldn't say anxiety inducing being here on my own, but it's been uncomfortable.
He looks around and he says, "Hey, you're used to the deck of a ship, but I mean, it's not that much different than being down below."
Yeah, except when you're below deck, you're never more than 50 feet from the surface.
He kind of like he grimaces and he's like,
I'll look around. I'll be like, I'm just gonna be straight with you. I don't know where the fuck I am. I don't know. I don't know how to get the fuck out of
he
here.
gestures and you're in between two stalls, so you can't actually see where he's pointing right now. But he gestures like automatically, and he says, 2 tunnels that way is where you came in."
God damn it. I'll like angrily take a bite out of an apple that I bought from a stall. Just
So you want me to go back to what I was doing and just keep watching? I mean, I can come back this evening, whether I find anything new or not, or I can stay
don't know
until
if Carrot's
I
even
find
gonna let me
something.
back in.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, look, if we find something and we know something needs to be done, I can get you in the captain's inn. It'll have to be secret, but I can get you in the captain's inn.
It's clear we're not gonna get to the bottom of this.
Well, I don't think we should bring you all in unless we know something is up.
Is there anything I can do to? I don't have anything. New adventure. Don't have a whole lot of items yet.
He shrugs and I mean, you
Give us
seem
some
like
money.
you don't know what to do, and he just makes the suggestion of like, just let me go back to staking out the place, and I'll come back to the ship around, say, midnight, and whether I've found anything new or not, and we can go from there.
Okay. All right. I will reach into my coat and pull out some money, and I'll put it in Ambrosio's hand, and I will say, "This is to loosen tongues. If you need to ask around."
He
Get
grunts.
some other people to help him, so he's not alone.
He grunts
Don't
and
buy booze.
nods. He says, "Oh no. Haven't touched the stuff since after I saw what I saw. I mean, okay. I had a little bit this morning to take the edge off, but that was because of the hangover, and it makes sense because you don't want to ride out the hangover. You know what I'm saying, Captain?
Right, but like we're on borrowed time. If this gets out of hand,
I'll be back at the ship. If I find something sooner, I'll come back sooner. But I'll be back at the ship by midnight tonight, regardless."
okay. I'll go back to the ship and I'll let Robert take his leave.
As you are leaving, roll me a.
Oh. Yeah. As I leave, assuming I get out of here at all, 15, I would like to, if I come out the same way I came, I would like to offer on my way out, Carrot, like a sandwich or some food that I likely was forced to buy, and my
You just offload all the random shit you bought on him.
Yes. As a token of our new friendship. Here,
as
you
you are
hungry.
leaving, you see one last little thing. As you are leaving, you hear a skittering. Not unusual. You've heard a lot of skittering in your time here.
When you're in
As you hear that skittering, though, it's accompanied by a couple of slight squeaks. And it just turns your head, and you see a small pack of 5 raccoons disappearing down a tunnel.
God, there's raccoons everywhere.
Jesus, they really are everywhere, aren't they? This really is a problem. And where'd they go?
They just disappear. You barely saw them for a brief moment. You just see them disappear down one of the small tunnels.
Oh, God. All right. The raccoons have been clocked. Go offer my gifts of friendship to Carrot and head back to the ship.
Sounds like a plan. Okay.
And I will go ahead and tell Robert that I found Ambrosio. I've asked him to do something for me, but I will stay on deck so that you can go.
Okay. Robert will peace out. Get off of me, tiny baby. I will say, real quick, we're getting pretty late. Bansii, your Uvik's thing takes a fair chunk of his time, so I don't think Uvik is gonna get to make a downtime roll. Bansii, yours took considerably less time. Is there a downtime roll you wanted to make, or are you wanting to try to do anything else with your day?
I was going back to find Higgins to tell him the updated information that it is familiar to the watch and that we need to go to this pub and go check out the mercenary insignia.
Okay.
So that was going to be an adventure. I figured we'd do it the next time.
Sure. Yeah.
We're kind of at time.
Absolutely. Sounds like a plan. So I will say what likely happens then is basically sometime towards the afternoon, you all start to filter back to the Scorpion, right? And when you are all gathered, you can start relaying the information that you have gathered to one another, namely with Bansii and Uvik having a little bit of additional kind of like information that they've stumbled upon while performing their various tasks. And then we can go from there, right? So I think it sounds like we have this. We have two things. We have whatever's going on in the metal with Ambrosio that Yuvik will be able to tell the party about. And then we have a kind of jointish scenario of Higgins' investigation into the criminal underworld and what's going on there, and meeting with Odysseus at a pub, as well as Bansii's kind of information that she's been getting about Higgins' white bear claw on a black field insignia thing, which also conveniently involves a pub crawl. So maybe two birds with one stone there. Two beers with one coin. And yeah, so that seems like what we have going on right now. So think about that and the order of operations and what the hell y'all want to do with the information that has been acquired today. And we'll jump into that next time as second day of shore leave is gone, and you might not get a third day of shore leave depending on how things go here. It might not be shore leave anymore. It might be work. So
that escalated quickly.
Oh, well, you know. Things do be happening. That's it. Thanks for playing.
Hey, remember that thing that happened to this group of people that turned allies upon one another and everybody started killing each other? That could happen here in like one of the only really truly civilized places in Little Eggs. So
Ruh-roh, Raggy. Thanks for playing. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.